A certain girl is trying to win an Olympic sport. The problem is that the sport is Olympic ski jumping, which is only available to men at the time of the manga taking place. So she has to pretend to be a boy to take place in the Olympics. Hello, my name is Melnibonean Menschklavier and welcome to my review of Nononono. No. Nono is a manga by Len Okamoto and published in Weekly Young Jump between October 25, 2007 and to December 9, 2010. And was the manga series that he created after finishing Elfen Lied. And I must say, Len Okamoto is one of my favorite mangakas because despite flaws, his stories have a lot of originality to them. Another thing that I like about his works is how he often has a lot of introspective thinking. I really enjoy when characters are presented this way. Yet another thing to like about his stories is that even his most pathetic characters have a lot of depth to them. Also, as a person who was victim of abuse, the fact that several of his work deal with this subject matter makes his works dear to me as well. The frequent theme of abuse has attracted quite a lot of criticism of Okamoto's work, with many calling his stories edgy. What does it mean? Well, that means that it deals with a lot of dark thematic, but since it's not a power fantasy masquerading as philosophical work, it is considered insensitive. I hate this type of criticism. As a victim of abuse, I found most work declared as edgy to be accurate to depict abuse, and I am often able to connect to characters who were abused. While Berserk was the first work of fiction that I actually hated, albeit for many reasons, not just portrayal of abuse. But back to review of No. No. The father of our protagonist was a famous ski jumper. However, one time he failed a jump during the Olympics that turned the population of Japan against him and he became target for harassment. His family also. He also became obsessed with the idea of turning his son into his successor, but his son did not have the talent. Meanwhile, his sister had the talent. But because she was a girl, she was not able to participate in Olympic ski jumping, being she was shunned by the father. Eventually, the father oofed himself after realizing what he put his kids through. His son then followed suit and demoralized himself, allowing our protagonist Nonomiya to take his place by pretending to be him. Sounds simple enough, but wait, there's more. Our protagonist has a habit of being confused for a crossdresser, giving us cross-dressing matryoshka. We're pretending to be a guy, pretending to be a girl. I mentioned in the background session that his work often featured themes of abuse, and this is no exception. We see it in a backstory, as said, and I believe that it was handled well there. But there's quite a lot of depiction of attempted sexual violence, such as Nono being sent to live with her senpai Okata, who is known for doing you know what to his roommate, and is almost violated. Also, she is almost abused by Coach Hino when he tries to take revenge for, in his eyes, ruining him. Since since I was not abused the way, I cannot tell how really it was handled. Only the fact that it's done from the victim's perspective is a good thing. Unlike the more famous seinen of dark fantasy genre, but still Okamoto did not need to play this so many times. Nononomiya. Our protagonist Nonomiya is incredibly likable due to her traumatic past. Seeing her trying to win the Olympics based on childhood dream, making her father proud, really brings tears to my eyes. The manga themes of overcoming fear is a major aspect of her character's journey, and it is done really well. Also, her being unable to do things she likes because of being forced to conform to expectations of being who her brother was, such as her being unable to wear dresses because her brother was male, being by Yoda into short-lived rivalry with Akira Amatsu to Yoda lie about Yuta insulting the family, and finally her having crushes with her clan members but being unable to express her love towards them due to posing as a guy reminds me of troubles of trans person in my face. Overall, she's a very likable protagonist. Akira Amatsu, a clubmate of Nono, a stoic guy who develops high support with girls, except for girls he likes. He also reacts very negatively towards criticism of his family and had be quiet as for Rosa. Nono has crush on him while he has a crush on Sora. Overall a decent character. Hiroki Kishitani. A second clubmate of Nono, unlike the stoic Akira, he is a cheerful, happy fellow. He is introduced as being scared of Emperor, and once he discovers that Nono is a real girl, he develops a crush on her. Also a decent character. Mikage Kurogi is a basic tsundere who thinks that Nono is a crossdresser after seeing her and says she's hustler. He also unusually happy to hear that Nono was assaulted. Wow, the character does not seem too nice. But she's actually quite nice outside of this type of situation. Overall, a decent character. Kiyoshi Shiria, the Afro Alucard. He is introduced as this creepy, violent guy, beating the shit out of Ogata and asking Nono to take picture of Kuragi boobs and all around a creep. However, when someone sabotages his skills, think he will try to kill them, he's revealed that he really cares about the club and its members. He also comes from a wealthy family, and his family do not want him to ski jump. It's a plot point at one time. Well, a decent, well-developed character, though not a very likable person. Sora, Yuta girlfriend who comes to visit. She had known that Yuta is actually not the whole time, but she pretended not to just be with Yuta for a bit longer. Then she stays with Akira for a while. Yoda, a sport journalist with ability to see talent just by looking at Jumper. His interaction with his assistants are pretty amusing. Coach Hino, a character introduces manipulating a guy into sabotaging Shiria's keys, a cheater and a pervert who tries to molest Nono as revenge, a disgusting Salma and a not so good villain, but he is not that important. It is really Nakamoto art. That means the backgrounds and composition are really good, but the characters are being sucked. But not as much as in Elfen League. A big problem is the hair, which looks like characters are wearing helmets that are shaped like hair. As I said, the background and composition are great. The size of things, the display of what emotion the story is trying to evoke. The structure of plot and pacing are great at building tension. You shake with anticipation while reading the manga's main tense events. Overall, the manga's art is one of its greatest strengths and weaknesses. The ending is the worst part of the manga. After the interhack arc, the manga ends with a short epilogue. There's a reason for that. Since female ski jumping was added to the Olympics, the editors at Young Jump ordered Okamoto to finish the manga as fast as possible. But this does not change that it makes the manga devoid of proper conclusion. I really like how the manga explores the theme of Hamaratia, or tragic mistake, like many other Okamoto's work. Nono's father, mistake of not addressing his leak leg leads to his accident, which then is Japan win of gold at the Olympics, which resulted in harassment of him and his family. This coupled with Nono and Yuta promising to win the gold medal in his death leads to him becoming abusive towards Yuta. And even when he realizes he was horrible, it is too late. Also, we see Shiria being sabotaged by a guy who thought he was sabotaged by him. But it was a lie set up by the coach Hino, and finally Shiria in the past angrily liberating a childhood friend of his about his love of Skin being a lie, only to be revealed that the friend was dying from a bad tumor. Time for my final words. The manga was overall okay until the ending, but lacking definitive conclusion in story except for a brief epilogue dragged the manga down. In other words, it would have been 7 out of 10, but aforementioned bad ending dragged it to 5 out of 10.